Alright, what's going on? It's your boy J Pillar Bay, Islam, Shalom, Hotep. Assalamu alaikum. So somebody asked me to go back into the Greeks. They loved it. They definitely wanted to learn more. So let's go ahead and go to Aristotle, Politics, written in 350 BC, right? Book 7, section 1329b. That's the statue of Aristotle. You see him, right? Aristotle. And he says, and we, because why are we reading this stuff? Why we read it? Why are we reading it? Because we have been told that Europe came up out of its Renaissance by reading the Greeks, right, Aristotle? And so we're trying to find out what is it that they saw about when reading the Greeks that helped them come out the Dark Ages and into a Renaissance. You kind of get what I'm saying? And so we got our Unc. That should show what side we on. And it says, that's right, Aristotle. It says, and we may infer in political institutions the same rule holds. Egypt witnesses to the antiquity of all things, for the Egyptians appear to be of all people the most ancient, and they have laws and a regular constitution existing from time immemorable. We should therefore make the best use of what has already been discovered and try to supply defect. Okay, so let's break that down, because sometimes, with language, we really can't comprehend certain stuff, right? And so let me help you out. It says, as we may infer in political institutions. So, like politics. Like in the United States, you got like Republican Democrat presidents, right? As we may infer into political institutions, the same rule holds, right? So what's that rule? He said the rule is Egypt, which is in Africa, Kemet, witnesses to the ancient history, and antiquity means ancient history, the ancient history of all things. For the Egyptians, the Africans, the Kemet people, appear to be of all people the most ancient. Now that's Greek for if he's saying, so he just said we appear to be the most ancient, and they have laws and a regular constitution existing from time immemorable. So he said, hey, they got laws and a regular constitution that existed since we had a memory. Right? Because that's what immemorable means. Since we can remember, we should therefore make the best use of what has already been discovered and try to supply defects. So now we talk about Greek philosophy and how the Greeks are the mothers and fathers of civilization. But he's saying what? Egypt, Kemet, this is written in 350 BC. Africa witnesses to the ancient history of all things. This is 350 BC, right? They knew this back then. Africa witnessed to the ancient history of all things, for the Africans appear to be of all people the most ancient. And they have laws and a regular constitution existing from time immemorable. What he talking about? Like Mayat, right? He talking about Mayat, like the 42 laws of Mayat, which is also ancient American law, right? Because America is also Kemet, right? So this is back in 350 BC, right? When he already said, hey, Africa, they appear to be of all people, the most ancient. So when they tell us about the United States Constitution and how we don't know these laws, here you have a Greek philosopher, a European, saying these ancient African people have laws and a regular constitution since we can remember. So what happened to that constitution? You should ask yourself that. I know what happened to it, right? That's why sometimes you hear Tyre Sharik Bey say the constitution goes back to Egypt. The United States Constitution. Well, you got to study, right? Because you see what he said they got it from. We got the laws in the constitution from these people. Like I say, they have laws, the 42 laws of Ma'at, which they got the 10 commandments from. Hold on. And then he said, we should therefore make the best use of what has already been discovered. Now, think about that. How are you going to discover something that someone else has found? And he said, try to supply defects. So when we think about like Greek philosophers, Aristotle is telling you that he's not even looking towards the Greek for, he's not even looking towards the Greeks for laws or a regular constitution. He's looking to the people who he said is the most ancient and of all things. But my fault, Africa went into the most ancient of all things. So he's saying, hey, they have been around so long. These people have seen. Look at Aristotle. These people been around so long, man. They've seen everything, and they appear to be to be of all people the most ancient. And so when you have somebody teach you that your history starts in slavery, and the Greeks started civilization, when you read the Greeks, they're saying Africans appear witnesses to the ancient history of all things. For Africans appear to be of all people the most ancient. I wasn't getting that in school. I was told we was Negroes, gangbangers. We never had it going. Read the 18th and 19th Amendment to pass 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? No one told me that we created the laws and that the Greeks went to learn from us from the law and what a constitution even is. Okay? So it just show you that you need to know thyself and look at Aristotle. Hey, it had to come out, Aristotle. And let's read that one more time before I go. And we may infer in political institutions the same rule holds. Africa witnesses to the ancient history of all things, for the Africans appear to be of all people the most ancient, and they have laws and a regular constitution existing from time immemorable, since we can remember. We should therefore make the best use of what has already been made, not discovered, made, and try to supply defect. Make adjustments where we can to supply the fact. If we see something ain't right there, let's try to make it just and kind of make it to where we can help us out. But they already got it structured. And this is written in 350 BC by Aristotle. Politics. Get it in your library. All right, this your boy Jay Pillar. My man's BJ definitely wanted me to hit him with some more ancient Greek philosophers. As you can see, that's what the philosopher said. Africa witnessed to the ancient history of all things, for the Africans appear to be of all people the most ancient. Now, I didn't say that. That's what he said, okay? And so, know thyself, keep building. Love y'all. Sorry you've been miseducated and brainwashed, but get back on your horse and ride out to glory. Love you. Have a great day. It's your boy Pillar. 1.